Hey everybody, welcome to Steve Does Learned League Match Day 3. We picked up a couple of wins in Seaboard off of our first couple match days, which was, a good feeling. We made it. So we're starting from a good spot here, first place. See if we can keep that streak going. See if we can keep our win streak in the private rumble going as well. Though we're right here with Troy, so we shall see. Let's have a look at match day 3. All right. Playing against Kira Pace today. And someone named MLB. Not someone I'm directly familiar with. Question 1. The International Exhibition of Modern Art, held in New York City in 1913, has a familiar name which refers to the type of facility in which the exhibition was held. The name has been used subsequently for various other similar exhibitions held in this facility or others. What is the type of facility in question? Okay, this is an armory. This is called the Armory Show. Very, very, very famous art show. Right off the bat, I think I want to make this the keeper of the day. The Armory Show is easily the most asked about art show by name, certainly in trivia, and definitely worth knowing. Lots and lots of people exhibited there that became, kind of staples of modern art. I don't have a good list of, works or people who exhibited at the Armory Show. That's something I feel like I should know. That might be another kind of a level up for me, but this piece I certainly do know. All right. Armory Show for sure. 2. Christian. The titular protagonist navigates hazards which include the Slough of Despond, the Hill Difficulty, the Valley of the Shadow of Death, the Doubting Castle, and the Delights of Vanity Fair. In what masterpiece of allegory? Okay. This is another, kind of secondary keeper. I would go with Pilgrim's Progress. Pilgrim's Progress is about a guy named Christian. It's an allegory. Not much more to say there. That is certainly something I am confident of. He is the pilgrim of which they speak. Question 3. Give the last name of any woman who won a medal in an individual event in artistic gymnastics at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio who is not American. Ooh. There's not tons of these. The one that springs the most to mind is Alia Mustafina, who won the, I believe, won the parallel bars. No, sorry, the uneven bars, and I believe she got bronze. She's the one who got bronze in the all-around. I think bronze was really close, but she got it just barely. But she definitely won the bars. So Alia Mustafina is definitely correct. Yeah, in a lot of cases, Americans got 2 medals on these events. The answers to these, there'd be 2 vaulters. I'm not sure I can remember either of them by name right now. Yeah. My keys were in your car? Wow. Sorry. Brief family interruption there. Yeah, Alia Mustafina is correct. I don't want. There's no real need to belabor the point. There's probably only about 6 possible answers to that, though, given that 2 of the people who did that are Alia Mustafina. Anyway, question 4. Fictional characters played by John Voight, 1969, Richard Gere, 1980, and Rob Schneider, 1999, all shared what occupation? Okay, well, this would be Midnight Cowboy, American Gigolo, and Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. So I guess they are gigolos. Question 5. According to a popular American folk song, Robert Ford was that dirty little coward that shot Mr. Howard. Who was Mr. Howard? Okay, well, I mean, What I am certainly aware of is that there's a film called The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. And not sure why you get... I'm not 100... Is Jesse James's real name Jesse Howard? I don't have any... I don't really know why it's Mr. Howard, but Jesse James ought to be Mr. Howard. So, yep. Question 6. Due to an act signed into law by President Richard Nixon 9 months prior, what appeared on U.S. television for the last time at 11:59 p.m. Eastern on January 1st, 1971? An act signed into law. So this wouldn't just be like some kind of minor regulation change that you make at the... It wouldn't be like they changed the test pattern from that Native American with the headdress or something like that. That's a tempting thought, but yeah, I feel like that's just not, if that changed, it would just be either networks changing it themselves or FCC regulations or something. So what would they do? Ban? Would they ban? Certainly swear words and stuff like that were, I think, more banned back then than prior to this, time, even than they would be now. So that's almost certainly not it. This is when they get... I'm really trying to think. It's 1970. I guess that's just like a random piece of information. The 9 months prior. It's interesting that the day it stopped being aired was 11:59 on January 1st, not 11:59 on December 31st. But there you go, I guess. What is this? What's banned? Smoking ads? Smoking ads are banned. Have smoking ads been banned since the early 70s? Did I ever see a smoking commercial as a kid? No. I saw smoking print ads. I saw smoking ads on TV because they're in stadiums, but I never... Yeah. Okay. I think I've heard this fact because I think someone asked... I think one of these like utter trivial facts is what was the last... It's like one of these things that comes up in like a trash toss-up or something like that. It's like, what was the last brand to have a cigarette ad on TV? And I think it was Virginia Slims was the last cigarette ad that was aired. So that is a utterly useless... Like, there are things... I am a firm believer that all knowledge has its uses and is interesting and stuff like that. I don't know that there's any actual utility to knowing that Virginia Slims was the last smoking ad. That feels right to me. Yeah, okay. But I might not be right. So, all right. We didn't get any sports or business questions to give us an obvious... Well, this might be a business question technically. Could be an American history question or a TV question. I think it's a business question. But, just depends on how you define that. All right, let's defend our other opponent first. Well, there is a sports question for Kira. She a big Olympics watcher? I have no idea. I'll certainly put a 2 on it. This is the sort of thing you might forget anyway. My other opponent, MLB, is not a huge... Yeah, I feel like this is forgettable if you didn't watch it. Like, even if you did watch it, you might not necessarily remember, because the way the coverage worked, you were paying more attention to the Americans a lot of the time anyway. It could certainly close up on you. How easy is Pilgrim's Progress? I don't know. I do know that they're not super great at art. Armory Show, though. I don't want to give it a 3. I'm not sure. I feel like Gigolo, quite easy. Their film score is high. Like, there's so many routes to that. Put a 0 on it. The Jesse James thing, that movie came out. It's also weirdly because of the Robert Ford in the title of that film. It's also kind of a film question, right? So that's just a little bit sad. I think I can safely 0 that for both of them and put a 1 here for both of them as well. 1 on Pilgrim's Progress, 3 on Smoking Ad. There's lots of things that you could say here that are wrong. I'll do it that way. That might be bad defense. But I'm not convinced it's Smoking Ad. I'm not 100% convinced. 2, 3. It's weird. I might end up defending them very similarly. I suppose that's logical, though. Yeah, Hurlet score 65. I feel like that's got a good shot at Pilgrim's Progress. Okay, we're just going to defend them the same way. I think, their knowledge bases aren't drastically different as the way things shake out here. And there's... so I think that's the way to go. Let's see if it's Smoking Ad. I think the rest of these are hardcore locks, but let's take a look. Shader, Steingruber. Yeah, there was another, I think Steingruber was another bars routine. Weaver's Tinkler. Do you see, it's kind of Mustafa or bust, I assume, for a lot of people, because it's like hard. They didn't focus on most of these other folks like a single bit. So anyway, cigarette advertising, sweet. Well, that's, yes, certainly exciting that we got there. So, okay. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.